he's got a passion. His passion is to enable 10,000 entrepreneurial-minded individuals to become financially free. I really connected with that. I wanted to make sure we get on here. And what we're going to be talking about today is his Amazon wealth system. And before we get into that, I want to tell you something that I think is very, very interesting. For the first 10 years when I was online, there was a lot of what we would call marketing gurus. And there was a need for many of the people that I know, like myself, Russell Brunson, Jeff Walkers, and you can almost say it's become the death of the internet marketing guru, with many things, with automated systems and rapid development and being able to build a funnel very quickly with things like ClickFunnels. It's really been the death of the guru. And what you've been seeing now are what I call niche guru specialists, guys that have built an incredible business in niches selling real products. And what I like about John is John has put everything into a system. So not only has he done it, but John has put it into a system and he teaches it. And I think what's more impressive than that is that he has so many successful students that have learned from him. So when I was talking with him on the cruise, I said, John, I would love to get you in front of my audience. I know that one of the hottest things right now, especially in the last 18 months to 2 years, is e-commerce. It seems to be the thing that everyone is talking about, and I see you as one of the best experts in there that I want to bring to my members. So John, thanks so much. I know you're actually at a marketing event right now. John, folks, John's actually at a marketing event right now, and he's in his hotel room dealing with the internet and all those issues minutes before we get on, so that he could do this training. So I want to thank you very much, John, for doing that for us today. And I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to listen, take notes. My wife is here watching as well, and I'll peek in every now and then if I've got a comment, and I'll certainly be around at the end for some Q&A.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Mike. I really appreciate the intro. And yeah, it's really awesome to be here and present this, all to you guys. So as Mike mentioned, and hold on one sec. I'm going to make me the presenter so that I can show you guys this. Put a 1 in the chat if you can real quick. I want to make sure that you can see my screen. I'm going to be covering a lot of stuff at a pretty rapid pace here. Just want to make sure that you guys can see all the stuff that's going on, because it kind of doesn't work without that, right? So put a 1 in the chat if you can see that. I'm going to check here, make sure that, okay, great. Looks like we got that, and I really appreciate you guys, being engaged and really putting it in the chat here.
John, sorry to interrupt. We did see your screen, but now we see your background with the mountain.
Yes, I did that because that's the only place I can check to see if anyone actually put a 1 in. So thank you for that, Mike. But yes, no, like Mike mentioned, I'm really, really excited to share this. I started off my whole entrepreneur journey in like a pretty terrible way, which was actually being like broke and homeless. And so, I really didn't like it. It wasn't fun at all. But what I am really passionate about is seeing people become financially free, is seeing people, use this to not have to live under that financial burden anymore. And so that is why this is basically what I call the 3-step formula that I use to go from broken homeless to over $1 million in product sales in less than 6 months. But more importantly, how you can copy this formula to build a real business and a sustainable online income in 30 days or less. So put a 1 or a yes or an exclamation mark or $ in the chat if this is something that sounds exciting to you, you're ready to get started, and you want me to start covering right now. Awesome, cool. I just saw it kind of blow up here, so I can't see all you guys, but really appreciate it. Let's see, I'm going to read off a couple names who we got here. We got Jeff, Bob, Greg, Bruce, Alejandro, Adron, Matthew, Dave, Carlos, Laura, Wyvon, Robert, and Laura. Cool. Really great to have all you guys here, and really appreciate
I think that one's Yvonne.
What's that, Mike?
I think that's Yvonne.
Yvonne. Okay, I totally screwed that up, but good to have you on here, Yvonne. Cool. Let's get started. So this presentation, it's really for anyone looking for a proven way to build a passive, scalable 5 or 6 figure monthly income working from home. And I know it sounds crazy to think maybe 5 or 6 figures, literally doing this online working from home. But as soon as you guys watch what is going on here and how not only I, but other students who've gone through this training have done that, you'll see how that's actually really, really doable. It's for people who are already selling private label or wholesaling products on Amazon, and they want to boost their sales and rankings, accelerate, really grow their business. People who've tried and failed at selling on Amazon before and really want to turn that dream of having a successful business into reality. So you're about to discover what is called my 3-step formula, broken down into the precise detail. It's got my step-by-step blueprint so that you can put this into action. I want to show you how to identify, how to identify and sell proven in-demand products that have the potential to sell as many as 100 to 500 or even thousands of units per day. Why this formula makes me $10,000 a day. We have 8 companies selling on Amazon. They're top selling companies, and we use this formula on every single one, just pretty much like stamp it out, same exact process, same exact formula on every single business, and it's worked for us every time. I want to show you how you can go from earning your very first dollar to earning tens of dollars a day, to earning hundreds of dollars a day, and even thousands of dollars a day and beyond. You know, when I first got started, I literally did not think it was possible for me to actually have an online income, to have like this workout. Like, for whatever reason, I just didn't believe that was possible for me. I did know that I did not like being super broke and being homeless anymore, so I went for it and went ahead and did it anyways. I was like, maybe I'm not going to make a bunch of money like these other guys, but you know what, maybe I can make a little bit of money to live off of. And what I discovered was, not only did I learn how to sell my first dollar online, but I started selling tens of dollars a day, and then eventually that grew to hundreds of dollars a day, and then quickly thereafter thousands of dollars a day. And now obviously it's continued, and I'm able to share this same exact process with you. So not only that, but the cool part about this last bit is that you're going to get access to my free secret weapons. Or they're not free, but you're going to get free access to them, so that you can hopefully triple your sales on what you would be able to do otherwise. I spent 12 months and over $500,000 developing these tools. They're very, very cool, and I'm going to show you how you guys can get free access to those at the end. So I'm your host. I'm John Rood. I built and run 3 7-figure Amazon businesses. I'm an owner or part owner into 14 different companies, travel America, connecting with some of the most influential and world-shaping entrepreneurs, such as Mike, on the Marketers Cruise. I personally invest in real estate and commodities, and I'm co-founding some other companies, which is a lot of fun. Most importantly, though, I get to go around and do presentations like this where I can help other people who are really trying to find something that they can have their big breakthrough with. Speaking of breakthroughs, I want to show you how I went from basically broke to my breakthrough. So, I was broke in that bit, and then I told you how we did literally in 6 months after being broke and not having anywhere to live. We did over $1 million in sales. And when I say we, I had a wife at the time, or a fiance at the time. So anyways, we built this business, and literally in 2015, 2014, I was, living like paycheck to paycheck, and then I ended up at the very end of 2014, broken homeless. But by 2015, had become a millionaire and done over $1 million in sales. It was absolutely crazy how fast that changed. 2016 did over $2 million in sales, and this year we're literally on target for doubling that at over $4 million. So I want you to pay very close attention to this, because this is something I'm really, really passionate and excited about sharing this with you, so that you can actually take this and make something really amazing out of it. But I need you to turn off your phone, get rid of your distractions, and most importantly, take notes. Believe it or not, taking notes is like one of the most important things that you can do to retain information. When I say something and you hear it and you understand it, that's something that's my knowledge that you're understanding. But when you write a note about what I said, that's actually transforming your understanding into your own knowledge, right? And so, long story short, I can get into the science of it, but I won't, because we're here to learn how to sell on Amazon. Long story short, I want you to take notes, because I think it's going to get you the most out of this presentation. So a lot of people have heard about the private label Amazon selling opportunity, and how other people are doing it. And so when I mentioned that this is what I do, a lot of people have said, "Oh, I've seen that before. I know what you do." But the truth is that the reason why I do this presentation, the reason why a lot of people show up for it, is because I do it in a way that is so completely different, And the methods that I use, they're unique and different from what anyone else has used. They're simple, which is, I think, the most important part, because it means that guys like me who, didn't start out super smart or anything can implement them. And most importantly, other systems are overly complicated, and they're really just not working for most people. And we've had a very, very high success rate with the people that have been implementing what we teach here. So it's fast. You can be selling within 30 to 60 days, which is super, super crazy to have a business running and making thousands of dollars a day in 30 to 60 days, but that is literally how fast it goes for some of our students. It's predictable. We've created literally 10 top selling products using this system back to back to back, no failures in between, just because the system really allows us to not only pick a winner from the start, but then also promote that. If there are any issues, we are able to promote it to being in the top anyways. So some of my students are making 6 figures a month. I'm going to show you about those guys soon too. So what I'm about to show you, it takes Amazon selling literally to a whole different level. So in case you didn't know, the potential with Amazon is massive. The Earth's largest e-commerce platform, that is Amazon. You get instant access to 100 million monthly visitors. And those visitors bought over $100 billion in 2016. I know it's a crazy number, over $100 billion. It was $128 billion that they bought in 2016. Absolutely mind-boggling numbers. But believe it or not, over 40% of those $128 billion in sales were generated by guys just like you and me. And you and me literally made up over 40% of these sales. That's almost half. So literally over $50 billion. Guys like me and everyone else selling on Amazon, and hopefully you as well this year, are going to be making up. And Amazon is actually predicted to grow to over $150 billion in sales this year. So it's absolutely crazy. And one other fun fact I just found out is after Amazon recently turned a profit in their latest quarter, the stock price rose, and with Jeff Bezos owning a large part of the stocks, he actually became the second wealthiest person in the world. Believe it or not, totally crazy. That's him. I think he's going to surpass Warren Buffett here in the next few years. So pretty crazy stuff going on. There's a reason though why ordinary people are creating extraordinary income selling crazy simple products like pillows, bottles, coloring pencils, etc. People have literally, Amazon has literally perfected their platform. They've been optimizing it for 2 decades. And the most important part is that they deal with everything. All the packing, shipping, payments, refunds, customer service, and so much more, which basically means that all you need to do is learn how to sell, because everything else is taken care of. And all you have to focus on is actually getting the product sold, because once it is sold, Amazon follows up and does everything on the back end. And so literally they do all of that stuff, making it a business where you can run a real business, yet unlike a real business, you don't end up working like crazy amounts of hours. And believe it or not, you can actually scale into the thousands of dollars a day without actually spending hours and hours a day. And that's one of the things that I really love about it is, I have 8 companies personally that I and my team run. But even before my team was involved running my companies, I was personally managing it, and it was like, an hour and a half a day. It's absolutely crazy. You'll see why as I go on talking here. But literally, once you start your product, start your launch, they promote it, they cross-sell it, they do email marketing, they do online retargeting marketing. Amazon literally wants you to be successful, and they just want you to help them help you. And I'm going to show you how to get that to happen. So who here would like to build a business using the same infrastructure that made Jeff Bezos a billionaire, and it's now $80 billion times over? So throw that in the chat. Is that you? Do you want to see the same? Do you want to build a business using that same infrastructure that made him basically the second wealthiest person in the world? Cool. Let's see the chat. Throw it in the chat here. Is that you? Are you ready? Awesome. Cool. I just saw everyone throw it in there. Cool. So let's get started. I'm going to reveal this process I used to make over $10,000 a day reselling ridiculously simple products, and this by leveraging the power of Amazon, right? But first, I want to tell you how this got started so that you can kind of get an understanding of really where this system came from. So this was me in 2014, just, scrubbing cars, tractors, semi-trucks, trailers, whatever I could, cleaning, detailing, just to make money to get by. I worked really, really hard all the time, and really just ended up living paycheck to paycheck for like the first few years of my adult life. And then this river happened. I fell into this river. I didn't have any life jacket, and you see these guys, they're rafting right there, and they're trying to avoid this giant boulder. That giant boulder happens to be like just the tip of it. Underneath, it's like 14 to 12 to 14 feet below the surface, just depending on the time of year. And what happened was I got sucked into these rapids, and without my life jacket, literally just got sucked into the undertow of this rock. And I was stuck under there, and it was massive, and it was just spinning and spinning and spinning. I couldn't swim out, and I was stuck under there for literally, I have no clue how long it was, because time really passes differently when you're fighting for your life. But it must have been at least a minute and a half. And I remember just kind of blacking out. And as I blacked out, I saw my whole life really flash before my eyes. And I know it sounds cliche, but I saw everything. I saw how I hadn't done anything with my life. I saw how I had just worked my life away without doing it for any purpose. A lot of people get to work and they do amazing things, and they work a lot, but yes, they do amazing things. I had done not anything. I'd worked all the time, and I hadn't spent any time doing anything important. And not only that, but to add insult to injury, I literally had like $0 in the bank account almost. And then I also realized that I hadn't spent any time with my friends and my family. I was realizing in this moment that I was just about to die, and I had literally just not done anything worth life, worth value, worth purpose in my life. And I hated that feeling so much. I don't know how I ended up getting out, but I remember coming back to and being conscious, at the side of this river. And so I ended up getting out. Really, really traumatic time for me. I don't cry very often, but I ended up crying that evening, and decided that it was time for my life to make a change. And I knew that I needed to live with purpose. I needed to do something important. And I knew that in order to do that, I had to get rid of this financial thing that had been like weighing me down for my entire life. I had, financial obligations and literally just a huge lack of financial freedom. This finances thing had really dominated my life. And so I was like, okay, I'm alive. I know I need to live with purpose, and I'm alive for a purpose, and I need to make that happen, right? So basically, that was what sparked me. I realized I needed to take time back into my own hands. I realized I needed to take finances into my own hands. I went back to work. I didn't like quit working or anything. I had to still provide and make money to eat. This guy, though, came in, asked me to detail his car. His name was Greg. He had this brand new, super nice Porsche. In fact, it was so brand new in 2014, it was a 2015. So anyways, he brought me this brand new 2015 Porsche, and I was like, okay, wow, that's pretty cool. We talked for a little bit, and then I ended up detailing his car. Greg was a super nice guy, kind of an influential guy in the community, and just like, this really, really awesome guy that happened to have a ton of money and a ton of free time as well. And so I remember, this river, this was like about a few weeks after that point, and I was like, man, this guy's literally got that thing that I know that I need to do for my life, right? So I detailed his car, and as soon as he came to pick it up, I did something kind of bold, which was I held the keys in my hand, and I was like, so, Greg, can you tell me exactly what you do? I really, really need to know. And he was a super nice guy. So he ended up telling me, and he ended up telling me about how he sold over $500,000 a month on Amazon. Long story short, I went to go work under this guy for about 7 months and learn what he did, learn how he did the things that he did. And then after that point, I stepped out on my own and decided to take a lot of risk, really, and go it alone. And unfortunately, fell on quite a lot of hard times. This is me proposing to she's my wife now, is my girlfriend at the time. I proposed to her. I didn't tell her at the time I had $8 to my name. That was the balance in the bank account. Times were really tough, you know, and to make matters worse, we went on this hike and I proposed to her and she said yes, and it was awesome. But we got back to the house and unfortunately we had this eviction notice slapped on our house. We had been living in this home that we had rented. Unfortunately, the landlord had let it go into foreclosure. And so we didn't have enough money for any deposits or anything. So we were just literally trying to live in this home until we could afford to rent another home, right? Well, our time had finally come, and this eviction notice said, get out of here or we're getting the cops to pull you out in 30 days. And so literally I had 30 days. I had $8 and 30 days to find a new place to live for me and my fiance. I had to do something, and this was in December of 2014. That's when literally everything changed. See, I stepped away from Greg and decided to, you know, go it alone. But the problem was, and this was during the time where, you know, we were living and literally being, quote, squatters that are living in a home that's being foreclosed on. So we were doing that for about 6 months because I was trying to launch products, and I was like, I know if this product just takes off, we're going to be able to pay for things. We're going to be able to afford gas and food and a home and everything, you know. And it just failed and failed and failed for literally 6 months straight. And I put everything I had into it. And unfortunately, like, it was the end of the line. And we got this notice and I had $8, and that was when we finally launched the 7th product. Well, something else amazing had happened that day, and I guess I'm probably never going to forget this day because it was 3 crazy things. I got engaged to my wife, I got kicked out of my home, and we had our first sales. It was amazing. We had launched our 7th product. It was going on month 7 now, and our 7th product, it did something, which was it sold. Like the first day we came back, I didn't expect to have any sales just because we had just listed it, and we came back, and after we saw that notice, I was super depressed. I was like, oh man. So I kind of was, you know, upset for an hour. Then I looked at my computer and I was like, whoa, we sold $64 today, and I was so stoked. In fact, like, not only that, but the next day, you know, got done working, came back home, looked at the computer again, and we had sold over $200. So the first day we did 64, the next day we did over 200. The day after that we did over 250. The day after that we did over 300, and it just kept climbing and climbing until we finally ran out of stock because we were selling so much. But I guess not having inventory is a good problem to have, right? Well, we ended up getting more money from my mom. Was lucky that she happened to come into some money at that time, and she just decided to fund our product. And as soon as it, you know, we'd just barely gotten some money back, but I was like, okay, here's the deal. Looks like we're growing, and I can either keep growing it slowly, or you can put money in it and I'll double it and give it back to you. And so that's exactly what happened. By the end of December, we had doubled her $17,000 investment into $32,000 and deposited it back in her bank account. And so things were rapidly growing, and by January we were doing over $100,000 a month consistently. In fact, since January of 2015, I've literally never not done over $100,000 in sales since then. So it's been really great. It happened super fast, but as soon as it did, it kept happening that way. It grew, and I never looked back. And so now, you know, with that, it's been a major blessing to my life, my wife's life, and now our kids and everything. And I'm super excited because I get to share this with you. This is the first business that I created while we were being evicted from that home, actually. I did over $1 million, and I realized, though, I needed to figure out how this happened, right? So I basically made this happen, and we had done really well. But I was like, okay, what did I do different? Because you got to remember, I had failed on 6 products for 6 months straight, and I was going on month 7 and product 7 when I finally made it, right? So what did I do different? Well, I'd been following some advice, you know, some not so good advice on the first 6 launches. I kept just, you know, trying to follow a system and kept just trying to do it the way that they were, you know, telling me to. And then on product 7, I was like, okay, I'm going to go with my gut here. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but hopefully it's going to work. Right? Well, that's the product that took off, and I did a couple things different, and that's when I decided, okay, I realize this is really cool, it's really exciting, but if I get caught up in the excitement, there's a chance that I'm going to have this one product that did super well, and I made a bunch of money, and then I go back to, you know, being this dude who doesn't have any money and doesn't have any more success or anything like that, right? And I was super worried about that, so that's why I locked myself in a room for literally over 127 hours, and I wrote down everything that went right, and that was like just one quick page, and then I wrote down everything that went wrong on my previous launches, and that was like 30 pages or something. So I basically had this blueprint. By the time I got done with it, I called it my 127-hour formula because I spent such an intense amount of time just literally in my room. I brought in a big jug of water, brought in some snacks, and I spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours on end trying to figure out what went right. And so this 127-hour formula is what came out of it. It's a find, build, launch strategy, and since then we've used it on every single business, every single product I've launched, and it's worked perfectly. And so that's what I want to share with you right now. So let's dive into it. Also, I got a little trophy out of this, which we ended up growing to be the #1 best-selling product in all of Amazon. If you don't know, the cell phone and accessories category on Amazon is the most competitive category, and it's on the largest online retailing platform, right? So we ended up getting that #1 bestseller tag. It only lasted for a couple days, but those couple days were really fun and really exciting. So I took a screenshot of it, and that's kind of like my my best-selling trophy. 2016 sales continue to rise. I just want to give you guys a quick overview and show you what exactly this business looks like when you have it running and it's working for you. Like I said, I have 8 businesses. I really only showcase 2 businesses on these presentations. So this is just one of them here. We did 40,000 in sales. You can see that the last year we had done 31,000 in sales, and basically that was just over the Black Friday weekend. You know, just a regular day. What a regular day looks like, and keep in mind this is still just one business, is we did, let's see, that ended up being shot at 8 p.m. and we'd done almost $6,000. So I think we closed out over $6,000 that day. The day before we'd done 4,300. The same day last week we did 5,300, and you can see it growing from the last year, which was at 2,400. Basically, you know, the thing I wanted to mention, and the reason why I underlined September 5th, is because September 5th is not a special day. It's just September 5th. It's just a random day. And I wanted to show you this, and I don't want to, you know, like be braggy or anything like that, but what I do want to do is, you know, I want to make sure that you know exactly what this looks like, because there's a lot of people saying a lot of stuff, but unfortunately without a lot of proof. And so I wanted to show you exactly what it really looks like from the inside so that you know exactly what this is. And one of those things I wanted to showcase was the consistency. Literally every single day it works like this, because really, like I said, Amazon just takes care of everything on the back end. So all I have to worry about is making it sell, right? And so I make it sell, and then literally it just keeps doing that for a very, very long time. It's very cool. We did over 142,000 sales, like literally 142,000 different units of sales in 2016. That's how many people bought products from us. The 142,000 people bought products from us. And this was all down to this 127-hour formula, which I told you about. And so I'm going to give you each step in this formula in a moment. But I wanted to show you why the money matters to me, right? So I don't care a lot about making money. What I do care a lot about is freedom. And one of the things that this has enabled me to do, which was I proposed to my wife with $8, but by the time we got married, fortunately I was able to pay for, you know, the whole wedding and everything. And we flew friends and family from all over the world literally to be at our wedding. And the other really amazing thing is we have 2 little kids. They're awesome, and I get to spend a ton of time with them. If I don't want to go to work one day because I miss my family, I don't go to work that day, and I get to hang out with my family. I never, you know, I had this picture of a Lamborghini on my wall when I was a kid, and I never expected to own one because I grew up, you know, as like a lower class, you know, lower middle class kid. So, you know, owning a Lamborghini was never a reality. And I was able to buy my dream car ever since I was a kid. So that was really cool. And then, you know, there's Frank Kern I got to go hang out with in San Diego. Good friend of mine called Mirza and mentor. He's the $500 million man. So he's super, super smart investor guy, lives in Dubai. He invited me out to come hang out with him. It's really, really cool because I've been able to have financial freedom. I've been able to have time freedom. And then most importantly, I've been able to connect with other really amazing people. And then, like I said, most importantly, you see on the bottom right, I'm speaking at State page for ClickFunnels or Surf Funnel Hacks. It's Russell Brunson's thing. Anyways, I've been able to spread this message and really help other people have their own financial freedom. And so that's what I'm most excited about. And that's why it says, what can it do for you? So where are you right now? Are you looking to build a real business and you want to earn consistent, ever-growing monthly income? Are you an existing Amazon seller who wants to take your business really to the next level? Or have you tried selling on Amazon before, but unfortunately you failed? Well, I'm going to help you fix that if that's the last one's you. And if you're looking to make something finally work, I'm going to help you with that as well. So the formula has 3 steps: find, build, and launch. So let's cover step 1. Identify a hot selling private or profitable product. So let's do this. Throw it in the chat right now. Find a product that, or tell me a product that you found or liked or looked at or recently bought. I want to know a product. Just give me something simple. It could be something as simple as a towel. Last time someone put toilet brush and we looked up toilet brushes. What I want to do is I want to show you guys exactly how much these products sell per month. I have a tool that can look at it and tell me exactly how much products sell per month. And I want to show you guys exactly what that looks like, right? Because really, any product on Amazon does way more sales than you would ever expect, and I just want to show you it. So throw it in the chat, give me a product idea. We're going to go to Amazon and look it up and see how much it actually sells. So I'm going to pull that up right now, and just forgive me because I'm not as tech savvy as most 24-year-olds should be. So give me 1 sec. Cool, so we're here at Amazon. Let's see what you guys said. Okay, so we've got a few products, but they're kind of complicated. Someone put in coffee, webcam, phone mount, planter box. Planter box, that's super interesting. I've never looked up a planter box before, so let's check that out. And I like this because it's super simple. You see this is literally just a, it's just a box, so it doesn't get much simpler than that. Let's find out how much these guys are making. I don't know how much. I'm assuming maybe not a lot. Okay, I guess they're actually making quite a lot. So we have one guy here, and this is this one you see right here is doing about $21,000 in sales. The product you see right here, Amgate, oh, they're only doing 1,000. But these guys right here, this little pottery thing is doing, it's like a stand for maybe inside your house. They're doing over $32,000 on sales. We've got this guy right here again, this green guy doing 55 with this product. And then let's see what we've got here. We've got this one doing $97,000 per month. Let's see, 19 on this guy, Best Choice, which looks like a very, this guy's brand name is Best Choice Products. And my assumption is that he is selling as a private label seller. So this guy's probably doing exactly what I'm showing you guys here how to do, which is really selling his own private label version, right? Let's see, we got another guy here. This, I would imagine, is another private label seller, and they're actually doing really well. They're doing $67,000 a month. Cool. So you guys kind of get the picture. I want to show you some more products, so let's see what else is in here. Oh, cool. And Dave, by the way, mentioned that he's in Nicaragua with an opportunity to sell exclusively branded coffee. That's really cool. Just for you, Dave, I'm going to check out how much coffee sells on Amazon. I don't actually know, but I would be interested in buying some authentic Nicaraguan coffee. Cool, so let's take a look. All right, like I said, not super tech savvy, so give me a minute here. Okay, cool. So we've got 26,000, 37,000, 25, 67 for this guy, which is an organic, nice coffee. That's what I buy. I only really buy organic coffee because I feel the difference. So I'm assuming you're going to get probably high quality coffee, Dave, and yeah, you'd be selling into that market. But they're doing 67,000. Another guy with 21,000. This one's absolutely nuts, and And that's really, really crazy that they're selling this much, but they're selling $345,000 worth of coffee per month. That's absolutely crazy, but believe it or not, there's actually someone selling more than that, which is the Donut Shop guys, and they're selling literally over $500,000 a month at $647,000. So yes, Dave, that might actually be a great idea to sell some coffee on Amazon. Cool. So we're going to look up one more product just to give you guys a quick look at what exactly, random products like these sell. So so someone named John asks me, how am I looking that up? And basically, there's different softwares. There's a few different ones available that can, there's metadata, and I don't want to get into what that is, but it tells how much people have sold, like how many units they've sold, and it's very, very simple to see how many units have they sold and what is the price that they sold all those at, and then you calculate that up, and that's basically the last 30 days. So that's pretty much how it does it. Let's see, gift baskets, grout cleaning brush. All right, so I'm gonna look up grout cleaning brush because that's, I want to give you guys a really good picture of grout brush. All right, so I want to give you guys a really good picture of what just random products on Amazon sell. So I'm gonna look up grout brush, and we're gonna see what those sell. And I'm not expecting these to be super huge or anything, but just to give you guys a clear picture that really almost anything in the world sells on Amazon. So we got this guy, OXO 599, selling $18,000 a month, which I wouldn't ever recommend anyone sell something that cheap. I would rather be the guy doing $27 or $28 with making only $7,000 a month because they're making much more profit. We got this guy selling $10, $31,000 a month, and we've got another guy selling $21,000 and $10,000. Cool. So I just want to give you guys a clear picture of stuff that sells on Amazon, which is pretty much anything. And now that you guys looked at that, we can talk about how to build it, right? So let's talk about how to build a listing, right? So first off, I wanted to mention you found a product, right? So let's just say you're like, okay, I love tile, which means I have to put grout in the tile. So the best thing that I could possibly sell on Amazon would be a grout brush, right? If that's you, then basically the process from here is simply just to head over to Alibaba.com and you search for manufacturers there, and you can literally find people making grout brushes. Believe it or not, there's more manufacturers trying to sell you brushes than there are people on Amazon trying to sell the brushes, right? That's one of the reasons there's so much opportunity here, because there's so much manufacturing capability and there's so little sellers. There's so few sellers, right? And that's part of why guys like you and I are bringing up how much Amazon is actually selling, right? So anyways, not to complicate it, that is one of the most simple parts of the equation, parts of the process. So I don't want to cover it here because it's super dead simple, and you just got to trust me on that. And then anything else you guys need process-wise, we're going to cover at the end, okay? So we found a product, we found grout brushes, we found coffee, and Dave probably has this really, really unique opportunity to sell coffee that he found in Nicaragua, which is really cool. I've never been there or found like coffee, like private label coffee to sell before, but if I did, that would be a very, very interesting thing to sell. I think that'd be super cool. I mean, even having like people selling over $500,000 a month, absolutely crazy, right? Well, you need to create your brand, right? So let's take a look at this real quick. We've got coffee. I want to show you guys what it looks like to create your brand. So what do these all have in common? Does anyone know? Let's take a look at the chat, see what they have in common. Cool. So basically, no one got it, but what they have in common is a name. They all have a brand name, right? There's New England Coffee, there's Verena Street, there's Mad Monkey, there's Death Wish Coffee. There's all these different coffees, but basically they all have a name, really. So creating your brand, it doesn't have to be difficult. It literally just starts with a name, and then you create this Death Wish Coffee name. You're like, okay, I'm going to call my coffee Death Wish Coffee. And you go to Fiverr, and you get something like this that looks like this little circle with a skull and bones inside, right? So that's literally as simple as it is to create your own brand. You just come up with a name, you go to Fiverr and have, maybe 3 designers create you a mock-up logo for $5 each, and boom, you have a brand name, right? So now you find your manufacturer, which we already covered, and you're going to place a small minimum order, and boom, your inventory is ready. So you ship it to Amazon, and Amazon stocks it. As soon as they stock it, you get this tag right here. You see this Prime tag. As soon as they stock it, you get the Prime tag, and that basically means that Amazon's going to ship it out for you, and they're going to ship it directly to the customer. And because it's Prime, they're going to do more marketing on it, and you're going to sell many more units, right? So now we're going to launch. And before we launch, I'm going to take a quick drink of water because I've been talking quite a lot. All right, so step 3, this is the most important part. Over the past couple of years, I've literally worked with people and on my own products, and through those have literally been on the front of hundreds of product launches on Amazon, both my products and other people's. I found, though, that most people really get as far as step 2. They get the product and they get it on to sell on Amazon, but then they either freeze or they use the wrong tactics, right? So they freeze, and then they don't know why their sales aren't taking off. And most sellers believe 3 big bad myths about Amazon. So the first one is they believe, if I list it, and this says launch, but if I list it, they will come. And the truth is, no. Amazon has monster traffic, but you need to know how to get in front of the monster traffic, right? It's easy when you know how, but most people simply don't know the simple tactics. Myth 2 is, if I can get people to my listing, I'm going to start making sales, right? I'm just going to get a bunch of sales, and then boom, I'm going to be the highest selling product on Amazon. Unfortunately, that is not how it works. If you can get people to your listing, but those people don't turn into customers, unfortunately, Amazon will stop showing your product, and it'll kill your momentum, and you won't have any sales. So myth 3, and one of the worst of all, is winning is all about having the lowest price. No, unfortunately, that's not it either. And fortunately, I guess that's not it. So my products are actually higher priced than all of the niches that I sell in. I have higher priced products than not than everyone, but there's many people selling lower priced products that I am in the same niches, the same product niches, yet I still have not only more sales in dollars wise, but I also have more sales in units wise. And the reason is because, honestly, if you're cheap, that's what you're viewed as, and people don't want to buy cheap. People honestly want to buy good products, and that's why you never want to be the cheapest. You want to actually have a higher price, believe it or not, and it's good for you and it's good for the customer, because the customer is going to receive more value from buying it, and they're going to pay you more money, which means you're going to make more money from it. So it's no good hoping that your product will sell and just leaving it sitting there. You need to take action. Here's how. 1, you need to get keyword rank. Keyword rank is super important. It's going to be the 50% of your initial traffic. It's all going to come from just seeing your listing in the rankings, right? Amazon is actually the world's largest search to buy platform. It used to be Google. Google used to own all search, but as Amazon became a resource for literally guys just like you and me, we started searching on Amazon for things we want rather than Google, right? And now Amazon is the world's largest search to buy platform. And can you imagine how powerful it'd be to rank on the world's largest search to buy platform? Ironically, it's so easy to rank on the world's largest search to buy platform. It's honestly, it sounds like a huge feat. You're like, I'm ranking in the top of the world's largest search to buy platform. And that's true. That's what will happen when you rank the product this way. But the funny thing is, you can brag about it, but it was actually super easy, right? So I'm going to show you this cool method for dominating Amazon rankings, like super easy, in a moment. But I wanted to mention, you're dead in the water unless you rank. You need to rank. It needs to happen. So the second thing is you need to get reviews. Reviews are super important. And before Amazon was the world's largest search to buy platform, they were the world's, and still are, the world's largest review platform. They have reviews on everything that's sold on Amazon. They have millions and millions and millions and millions of products on there. And the reason that they were able to drive so many sales, especially initially, and the reason that you see reviews online was because these guys decided, hey, we need to give people reviews so they can understand how other customers like it. And that is one of the biggest things that drives Amazon sales. And if you have it on your listing, you have good reviews, you're going to have that same power to drive sales as well, right? So if you can rank, then you're going to get like people seeing your product. You're going to be ranking on the world's largest search to buy platform. And if you get reviews, you're going to be able to drive sales. You're going to be able to convert people. And more importantly than that, it'll be even easier to rank. Amazon will cross-sell and cross-promote for you, and they'll email for you, and they'll actually retarget for you. So getting great reviews does so many amazing things. It's just a necessity at this point. So there are other ways to launch and promote Amazon products, but in my experience, these two methods are the ones that result in the most sales, and they result in the most long-term business. There's other people who quickly do Facebook funnels to Amazon, and it's like, great, if you can learn how to run ads and learn how to build pages and then finally make the sell on Amazon, that's great. But what happens when you run out of traffic, right? Well, your Amazon business doesn't make any money. When you launch it this way, when you launch it with the reviews and you launch it with rank, you have sales not only today but for a very long time from now. So the summary of the 3 steps: you want to find and identify a profitable product and a supplier. You want to build your brand and your product and your listing, right? Then you want to launch, which means you need to get keyword rank and then build positive, great reviews. So most people can do 1 and 2 very easily, but let's focus on step 3, getting your keyword rank and reviews, which means therefore sales. So I had a $500,000 or $500,000 question, as I like to call it, and that question was, how can I outsell every other competitor in my product niche every single time? Right? I didn't know it at the time, but it would take me 2 years and literally over $500,000 in development costs to find out. The reason why I asked this question was I asked this question back after right after I had finally succeeded. I had finally done well, and I'd finally made a very decent amount of money on Amazon. But I knew, and this was when I was formulating the 127-hour formula, I knew if I couldn't do this on a regular basis, then I wouldn't do anything. I'd just be a one-hit wonder, right? So this question, how can I outsell every other competitor in my product niche every single time? This question meant a lot to me. This question meant a lot to me because really it represented my family's future. It represented my future. It represented my ability to live a life with purpose. It represented my ability to have time freedom and money freedom. And this question honestly drove everything I did for about a year, and continue to follow that path and the trajectory. Now that I know how to do that every single time, we still keep developing new softwares and new products to just continually have that edge, right? And so this is something I'm focused on all the time. How can I outsell every other competitor in my product niche every single time? And so because I'm so monomaniacally focused on just this question, you guys are going to get an actual really, really good inside look at actually how to make that happen, and some of the stuff that we've done to make that happen. So what I had to discover was, how do people find products on Amazon, right? So let's find out together. I showed you guys these products. So basically we're looking for coffee, and what did we do? We went to the search bar here and we just searched coffee, right? So we searched coffee, and really someone's going to look on here and they're going to find reviews, they're going to find good reviewed products, and they're going to click on one like, say, this one here. They're going to look at the images, and then they're going to look down here, and they're going to see all these other cross-selling, cross-promoting things down here, right? So there's really 2 ways to be found on Amazon, and one of them is through that keyword rank, and the other is through this, what I call cross-promoting, right? Cross-promoting is where you have a product here, but more products are being promoted underneath the product, right? So when you start doing well and you start having reviews, this is where you can show up. For example, and this is important for you, Dave, this guy Napalm right here, he's only got 50 reviews, which means he's just started selling, right? And because he's just started selling, he's only got 50 reviews, but he's still showing up here, right? Because those reviews are 4.5 stars at least. And if you notice, you're not going to see anyone here with no reviews. Literally every single person here has reviews. And this guy is interesting to me because obviously, you know, he's a new seller, but he's still showing up underneath this guy that shows up here, right? This guy's showing up very, very first almost, and then boom, this guy right there underneath. All right, and so that's super important. And I'm not sure what's going on here. Anyways, I messed this all up. But point is, there's two ways to be found. One is through cross-promoting. The other is through actual search, right? So point is you need to rank. The answer was super URLs, right? So let me show you what a super URL is. So for example, if we were selling coffee, we could go back in these pages here and let's take a look here. So if we were selling coffee, let's just assume we just now listed our listing, and unfortunately we're on page 4, so we're quite a ways back, right? Let's just say we're this guy. We're the Tree Hugger Organic Central American Rainforest Coffee, right? So this is us. We're here. We've only got 62 reviews. We want to start ranking, but it's been rough, right? Not quite working. Well, what we could do is we could actually take this URL, and this URL right up here in the top, we'd literally copy that whole thing, and then we'd start sending traffic to it, whether it's email traffic or just sending quick ads on Facebook or whatever. We literally just get as many clicks as possible on this link, and then what Amazon's going to think is because this right here means search result 74, that right there means search result 74, and the keywords equal coffee, Amazon's going to think, whoa, people are going all the way back to the 74th result to search for this coffee brand. So what do we need to do? Well, whenever someone searches coffee, we need to rank this product up to the top, right? Well, that worked for a while, but unfortunately, Amazon changed that in late or in early 2015. So that's how I first launched my business. We were first able to start ranking on Amazon by using that technique. But by the time my first product had done well, we weren't able to do that again, and we had to do things organically ever since then. And so I've gotten really, really good at being able to do it organically, but we've done other things on top of that that have actually brought that back to life. And actually, before I brought it back to life, I was trying to find well-known tools that were supposed to revive it, bring it back to life. The power of that super URL, like, I wish I could tell you how fast I ranked, because it was literally within a week I started ranking on that first page for major competitive keywords. And you know what happened? We started getting massive sales, and the more sales we got, the more rank we got, right? So all we needed was that first initial kick. And so I was like, okay, I need to find that first initial kick, that super URL. I need to find that again. And unfortunately, I tested many, many different products, and I lost over $10,000 trying to promote them and test them. And so I decided, after losing 10 grand, I needed to take things into my own hands. I needed to find a way to use this super URL again, but no one else had found a way to make it work. So I hired a development team to decode the Amazon algorithm. All right, me and the development team, we worked for months and months and months, and we finally struck gold. We after months of work, had finally discovered exactly how Amazon ranks products. So answer in the chat, what are the top 3 ways, what are one of the top 3 ways to gain rank on Amazon? I want you guys to take a guess. Ranking on Amazon, what are one of the top 3 ways to gain rank? I'm going to see if any of you guys get them. There's 3 possible answers. Let's see what you guys get. Okay, so we've got branding messages, reviews, rankings, keywords, make sales, advertising. Yeah, that's a good one. Number of stars on the reviews. Yeah, that's true as well. Paid ads. Yeah, those work. So video, nope, not quite. Video really only goes for a couple specific listings. And then Helen says, sell as much as possible. I think that's a great motto. Sell as much as possible. Awesome. Cool. So really good answers. There's a few of them that are pretty close to being right, but there's a very specific way that you would need to rank on Amazon. The Amazon actually ranks products. And so a lot of you guys said searches. A lot of you guys said selling, so sales history, and a lot of you guys said reviews. But actually, believe it or not, the first way that Amazon ranks product is not with just customer searches, like a few of you guys said searches. It's with recent customer searches. And the word recent is really important, because that means that guys like you and I that can start suddenly generating searches from customers, if we can actually do that, then we win. We actually make money from it, right? And we can start ranking. And then not only that, but the second thing, which is in our control when we first get started, is our titles, our bullet points, right? That's really, really amazing, because number two, if you structure your title correctly, that will actually rank you amazingly in Amazon, right? And there's a very specific way I'll cover how to do that. Super, super easy. You guys wouldn't believe how easy it is to actually rank in Amazon, right? And then there's sales rank and history. Sales history and reviews. So sales history is basically, how long have you been selling, and has it been selling consistently? Cool. So we're going to rank you on this page, because that's just what typically happens, right? You do well here. Then you have your reviews, like a few of you guys had mentioned, and Dave, and I think a guy named Jeff had mentioned reviews, was when you have really good reviews, it's both the number, and after you reach a certain critical number, it's the stars. So the stars really matter as well. In fact, if we go to this page here, searching for Amazon, searching Amazon for coffee, let's look at, so this first page, we're on back to grout brushes. So this first page here, if we scroll down this first page, what you guys are all seeing is really 4 stars minimum. There may be a 3.5 star in here mixed in somewhere. I don't see it yet, but if you guys look at this, and what Dave mentioned was the review star rating. So basically the star rating here would be 4.5, star rating here would be 5, because it looks like a 5, right? So these control whether or not you show up on the first page in this niche, in this coffee niche. So let's talk about, we have the roadmap now. How can we take advantage of it? So we took advantage of it by creating what was called Super X URL. So we found out, after decoding the Amazon algorithm, we found out what Amazon had changed. They basically changed that you need to have a real person searching, like an actual search in the search bar, and then actually going through. And what they did was they made every search unique. And so when people were sending to the search worked for the very first click, but after that, Amazon's like, oh, someone's already clicked on this, right? And so what we did with Super X URL was we actually created a new search every single time someone clicks the link, right? And so that allowed us to revive that human element of that super URL, which we call that X element, the X. That's what the X stands for, is that human element. So it allowed us to rank faster, it allowed us to rank higher, rank for higher volume search terms, and rank for more competitive search terms. And so we had literally solved that ranking issue. So next, we were trying to figure out, okay, now we've got ranking down, we're able to rank products quickly, but we're having issues with these reviews. What can we possibly do, right? Well, in order to do that, at the time, we were sending people personalized messages. We had multiple people in our support department, following up with people, and it was just really eating into our margin of every product that we sold. And so we had to figure out a way to automate this personal touch. So my development team and I, again, we went back and started spending literally hundreds of hours and hundreds of thousands of dollars, unfortunately, over the next few months creating this solution. And over the course of a few months, we'd finally created Kibly. Kibly is our secret weapon number 2. And what Kibly does is it automated all of our follow-up with our buyers. It was a set it and forget it R3 review collection engine. And then not only that, it was 100% Amazon compliant. So we actually advertise this on Amazon Seller Central, which means that we're advertising to sellers on Amazon, because I think they can benefit from this as well. And in order to do that, we had to have Amazon's software team actually analyze and look into everything that we do on our software. And so we actually came back as a 100% Amazon compliant way to collect automatic feedback and supercharged reviews at the same time. So it was really, really cool. We were able to create that. And, well, I initially created it for me and my business, but literally after it just had such a massive impact on my business, that's when we decided to get it out, and that's when we got it 100% Amazon certified. And the cool part is it not only takes less than 5 minutes to set up, it also tracks your orders in real time, automates customer support, and so much more. So now we had my 2 launch strategies, the main launch strategies that are relied on for literally my business running every single day, and for launching products, and for not just having a one-hit wonder, but having 10 top-selling products in a row. We had solved both of those issues, reviews and ranking. So I was absolutely stoked. Getting reviews and rank is the key to selling success on Amazon. If you're a new seller, getting high rankings and following up with positive reviews is the fastest way to launch and grow your business and start getting sales, and then start growing those sales. And if you're already selling, it's the fastest way to absolutely scale your business and accelerate your sales and profits. That's why these 2 secrets are so powerful. So answer in the chat, who here would like to get free access to these secret weapons today? Put it in the chat if you do want to get free access to these secret weapons today. I'm going to see who's putting it in the chat here. All right, cool. So we got quite a few people. Looks like those are the only people out of all the people on, though, that want access. So, okay, cool. Now we've got you guys putting them in here. That's great. Someone said, seriously? Duh. Super funny. Awesome. Cool. Thank you guys for putting that in there. Cool. So let's cover it. Before I reveal how, I want to tell you a little bit more about my 127-hour formula. So to recap the formula results, we did over $1 million in the first 6 months of selling, and then not only that, but it followed it up in the next year with doing over $2 million in sales. And after hearing about my success, I literally had hundreds of people begging me to put together a training program on what I was doing, to show them exactly what was working so well. Because initially I had started selling on Amazon, and just like every other seller I knew back then, wasn't making many sales. Well, we all kind of knew each other's listings, and then after mine started taking off in the rank, and eventually I got to be the #1 best-selling product on Amazon, and then I had literally tens and tens and tens of reviews showing up on my product every single day. All of these sellers that we started selling out with, and we just kind of were friends with, they were like, they weren't selling amazing, and so they started talking to me like, John, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And so that's when I decided to kind of remaster my formula, and I put it into a step-by-step blueprint that anyone could follow. And so I literally spent 12 months of my time working on it, and the end result was a complete package of training, tools, and support. And it literally allows anyone to either build or scale an Amazon business to 5 or 6 figures per month. So why did it take a full month or 12 months? Because I did not want to release it before having a set of students thoroughly follow the process, to make sure that the instructions were clear and easy to follow, and most importantly, that it resulted in success. So the results from the students were absolutely astonishing. This is my first student. This is actually my dad. And the really interesting thing about this picture on the left here is we took this. We were out going for a tree in December. We actually took the screenshot then, and this is what I sent him. So he contacted me, and he worked for the state for about 22 years now, and he'd still worked for them. And I was like, Dad, we got to go cut a Christmas tree. And he's like, sorry, son, I can't. I'm working, and I have no vacation left. I was like, Dad, come on. And he's like, why should I come? And I was like, I sent him the screenshot because in the last 20 days, when I'd asked him to come cut a tree with me, we had sold over $100,000. And so I sent him the screenshot, and I said, Dad, this is the last 20 days. Just quit your job already. And so he did. He just decided to take a day off and just screw it, and came out and cut a tree with me. But this was the business that me and my dad first created together. This was, he was my first student going through the training course, and I can't show you the video that he recorded, but I wanted to show you what he said. He said, John showed me, and keep in mind he said, John showed me how to pick a product, get it listed, and the importance of pictures. He took a thing that was scary and made it not so scary anymore. He says, now I've got a business that's making money, and I feel financial freedom and independence. This is Scott Radcliffe. He was a chef/restaurant worker, had some college education, and basically within 120 days was able to create a business selling on Amazon, selling his private label product on Amazon from our course, from our training here, with over $110,000 per month in sales, right? Absolutely crazy. You guys still doing that today. I know Scott personally just because he was one of my first students, and he absolutely great guy, still running the business today. Kelly, she was one of our first students as well. She's a stay-at-home mom. Her husband just works, and she decided to take the training, and within 45 days was able to create $7,000. Quite a bit different from $110,000 a month, but that $7,000 a month that she was able to create for her was absolutely transformative and impactful for their family. Like since then, they've gotten new cars and they've been traveling the world. I've seen them kind of update things on Facebook. It's been very cool. This is Derek. He was an insurance salesman and used this training within literally 70 days. He created a $60,000 per month Amazon business. I actually know Derek from CrossFit, so he was one of my first students as well. I convinced him to try it, and now the amazing thing is that he's doing over $60,000 a month in sales on his product. He was able to, when I first met Derek, he had something unfortunate happen to him. He had his house robbed. He lost, they destroyed his car. They took all of his computers, all of his, hidden away cash and guns and anything else valuable in his house that he had. He literally lost everything. And when I talked to him, I saw him at CrossFit the day after he found out he'd gotten robbed. And I talked to him, and I was like, oh, man, really, really sorry to hear that. And in my head, I was thinking, man, this guy's going to have to replace all that. That's going to really eat into his savings. But what I didn't realize was that Derek didn't have any savings. He literally couldn't afford to replace anything. He had to borrow a computer for like a month. And now, after finally creating this business, he just, I think he's mostly paid off his house. And that was just something he wanted to do. And I was like, dude, you should put it back into products. But it's like, nope, I'm going to pay off the house. So he's got a house that's nearly paid for. He's bought, a brand new vehicle. He owns outright. He's done amazing things. And now his family doesn't ever have to worry about that financial pressure again. This is Peter. He was a solar salesman. Again, good friend of mine, one of my first students. And within 60 days, he created a $75,000 per month Amazon business, and he still runs that today. Amazing dude, super fun, travels all over the world now doing just really fun stuff. So his Amazon business has allowed him to do that. It's now, like I said, he initially was a solar salesman working all the time without time to hang out with his kids, and now he literally gets to hang out with his kids whenever he wants and travels the world. Pretty cool. So answer in the chat, who wants to get access to that same step-by-step system that allowed these students to achieve their wild success and follow their results by using this to create a profitable Amazon business? Throw that in the chat if that's you. You want to get access to that same exact step-by-step system that these students used. Awesome, cool. I just got the whole chat blown up, so I can't read all of you guys' names because that would take a minute, but I'm going to cover that. Let me show you Azon Academy. So Azon Academy is what we put together. This is for people looking to generate consistent income working from home. I'm going to show you how you go from your very first dollar, and like I said in the beginning, you systematically go from selling tens of dollars a day to hundreds of dollars a day, and then thousands of dollars a day, and hopefully beyond that as well. This is for people who tried and failed, unfortunately, selling on Amazon before and want to finally turn their dream of building that successful physical business into a reality. Not only that, but if you've already been selling on Amazon and you just want to take it to the next level, this is for you as well. We literally have about half people getting started, learning how to sell on Amazon, and half people who have already been trying to sell on Amazon and really want to take it to that next level that, end up getting into Azon Academy and creating something amazing. So how will it benefit you? It's going to teach you how to create best-selling products. It's going to teach you how to get traffic to those listings, and it's most importantly going to teach you how to get sales and then scale a real business, all without needing prior business experience, office or employees, or even shipping a single product. It's literally the fastest and easiest way to become a top seller on Amazon, period. I'm going to share every last secret that I use to make literally 6 figures a month with nothing left out. And that's the most important part, is I don't leave anything out. There's no secrets that I'm holding just for myself in order to, you know, make my product sell better and then not compete with anyone. You guys literally get the same amount of competition advantage that I have in every single market that I go into. So Azon Academy consists of 75 core training videos. Here's what's included. You get the foundations, which is a proven roadmap revealing how to sell and make money selling physical products on Amazon. You will get product and niche research training, which will show you how to find that amazing product. Like we just went over to Amazon earlier in this presentation and looked at a few different products and them selling. I'm going to show you not only how to find amazing products that are selling, but I'm going to show you how to identify when there's a niche where, you know, there's just a few people selling and then a lot of people trying to buy it, right? Which means that it's very easy for more sellers to come into that market and sell to those buyers. I'm going to show you how to do that. And not only that, we'll show you how to cover everything you need to know about marketing, promotion, suppliers, anything related to getting your listing on, getting your inventory, and actually starting to sell, right? You're going to discover my critical rules for Amazon success and how to avoid all the mistakes and pitfalls that many new sellers make, basically ensuring that you make money. So this core training also includes the momentum protocols, which is one of my favorite parts, because after you get the foundation set up, you got your product, you got it in Amazon, we're going to show you how to start ranking, right? And one of my favorite ways to rank is you use this simple Facebook ads training, which this Facebook ads training is literally like 2 couple-of-minute videos because it's so simple, the method I use to do this. And then we just send that secret weapon that you guys are going to get access to, Super X URL, and then boom, we start ranking. We've literally had students rank for their main keyword within 24 hours and others within 48 hours. It's absolutely amazing how fast people have used this system to rank. Not only that, but we're going to show you the product page optimization protocol. This is so that you can create highly effective titles, which I mentioned to you guys, the titles and the bullets are really actually responsible for your ranking. So I'm going to show you guys how to use that and actually start with an effective title to rank. Then I'm going to show you how to use your bullets and your descriptions and your images to convert the people that click on your listing into customers. There's actually, and this is, I'm getting sidetracked again, but I'm super excited about this, so I wanted to share this with you guys. We have this product on one of my businesses, and most of my products, they're around, you know, 10 to 30% conversion rate, which is still super high, right? 10 to 30% conversion rate on a product, meaning, you know, out of 10 people clicking on my product, 1 to 3 people would buy it. That's super high. But we've actually had a product that we sell that had over 60% people that hit the listing would buy it. That means literally out of every 10 people that just clicked, 6 of them would buy the product. And that's absolutely mind-boggling high conversions. But things like that are possible with the Amazon platform and with this optimization protocol. Not only that, but I want to show you how you can get your first reviews. So you're going to learn how to collect real reviews on your product before you even launch. And then I'm going to show you how to set it on autopilot where you're getting organic Amazon rankings from just automatic reviews, 5-star reviews coming in every single day. And then I want to show you my rapid launch protocol, which is how to kickstart new products even further and get the maximum number of sales in the shortest period of time. So with this all, I realize this is pretty awesome already, but I wanted to make it even more awesome, and so that's why you guys are going to get access to my private members-only mastermind group, the Amazon Warriors. And the Amazon Warriors group, I'm going to basically be in there working with you guys. It's basically a group of other Amazon sellers from people just getting started to people starting to get some traction and scaling up their business to people already running a 5- or 6-figure business and wanting to scale it, to people running literally 7-figure Amazon businesses who just want to help out other sellers and help other people do better as well. So it's an amazing group of other people holding each other accountable to our goals, to our growth and launching strategies and goals and helping each other make sure that we're doing the right things, right? I'm also in this group, and this is the only place I spend a ton of time for free. I actually spend a bunch of time in this group helping out everyone that's inside this Amazon Warriors group. I personally look at people's listings and comment on everything, and there's no promises, but I'm just telling you this is the only time I spend for free every single day. And just because it's very exciting to me, and my favorite thing about this group is that every single time someone joins us and they start working through this and they launch their product and they finally have their sales, one of my favorite parts of everything about this is that they end up posting screenshots of their first like $500 a day in sales, or their first thousands of dollars a day in sales. It's really awesome to see that. The next thing I want to share with you, I told you guys how there's multiple seven-figure sellers in this group. This is Dave, and he's this is his Black Friday sales right here. He had done over $31,000, and this is at 10 a.m. by the way that he took the screenshot on Black Friday. Just one day, he did over $31,000 in sales. Absolutely crazy. Guy did a great job. He's in the group, and he basically is in there every day, really helping everyone out. Super guy. So not only that, I want to share with you one of the most important parts of any really training program and implementation program is support. And this support is basically going to be delivered in spades with this Amazon Warriors group. We've really created a group where you have as much support and as much accountability as you need. And I've trained literally thousands of people, so I know exactly what you need. I know exactly how to help you. And not only that, but because I know how that works, because I know how Amazon sells so well, people have paid me as much as $25,000 just to work with me. But you're going to be getting unlimited access, unlimited support through that Amazon Warriors community, where I personally pop in every single day and offer personal advice to all the members. You know, usually just one-on-one on members' posts. Plus, you're going to be getting access to my behind-the-scenes team and help desk. So one more thing. I realize we've been stacking a lot of awesome stuff on top of each other, but I got to tell you what else we have. This one thing right here is really, really amazing. We have a product opportunity score sheet. So it looks super simple, but this is one of the most important parts of this training. See, I spent years launching products on Amazon, and I wanted to know, how can I identify the perfect product every single time, right? So like, you know, you're looking for a product on Amazon. Well, how can you identify with really, really, really pinpoint precision, if you will, what's going to sell and what's going to do really, really well? Well, after launching dozens of products, we were finally able to discover what works every single time, or at least not every single time, but about 95% of the time. And so we created a list of 22 criteria that basically gets you about 95% certain that your product's going to do really, really well. It's going to save you time, save money, and make you money. So this is unfortunately extremely limited for two reasons. Reason one is my teams and my time will be involved in your success. So I can only take a small number of people into the program. It's not 100% scalable. So not only that, but you're going to be getting access to 3 exclusive webinar-only bonuses, but those are only available on this promotion. So on this presentation, I mean. So free access to SuperX URL. This is your first bonus. You're going to get free access to my first secret weapon at SuperX URL, and SuperX URL is my secret ranking weapon. We have built this over literally many, many months, and you know, lots of developers working on this. Unfortunately, they cost quite a bit, so it did cost me quite a bit to build this, but what ended up happening, it was an amazing program with our proprietary human element replication algorithm. Sounds complicated because it is, but fortunately it's super simple to use, and what ends up happening is when you use it, you end up ranking super fast, ranking higher, and you rank for more competitive search terms in Amazon's organic searches. So not only that, I'm going to be giving you access to my second secret weapon, and that's 4 months free of Kibly Extreme. So you're going to be able to send 120,000 emails per month, and that's literally good for 30,000, not $30, but 30,000 units per month of product sales, which is way more than you need, which means you have plenty of room to grow your business without worrying about any increasing costs or whatever. Not only that, but here's what people have said about Kibly. I'm not going to read every single review, but I wanted to show you other sellers actually using this and the results that they had. So this is Keith. He said, big high five to Kibly. Thanks for the increased Amazon reviews. In just over 1 month, they jumped by 100%, which basically means they doubled, right? That's crazy. He said, which increased our overall approval rating, and now their approval rating's at 99%, just one shy of perfect, right? That's pretty awesome. So he loved it. You can see a lot of other people love it too. But I'm going to give you another bonus, which is our traffic acceleration training. The traffic acceleration training is something that I love a lot because it's super, super, super cool for driving traffic. And not only that, you can drive amazing amounts of traffic for almost nothing. And I'm going to show you how. So first, I'm going to give you access to my Amazon Ad Hacks video course, which basically reveals how to drive endless traffic to your product listing from within the Amazon platform. And there's this cool way that you can do it that when you start driving traffic from this ad platform, you're not going to have to hook up your credit card and start driving ads. What actually happens is because it's inside of Amazon, you can select a way, and I'll show you how. You can select a way to choose to pay for it with the sales of your product. So that means that you can literally drive sales on your product without ever paying for those ads. You literally pay for the ads by your product selling. How amazing is that? There's zero out of pocket, and you can absolutely just grow sales doing that. Super cool, and it's one of the fastest way to grow your products. It's kind of an interesting thing. Not a lot of people know exactly how that works, but you are going to be getting access to that. That's going to show you exactly how to do that. Next, I'm going to show you how to dominate Instagram. See, I mentioned in the beginning, I travel the world talking with a lot of really amazing people, and one of those amazing people that I met is named Ryan. He runs Instagram traffic. So what I mean by that is he finds influencers on Instagram. So for example, like an influencer would be this lady that has like a tennis following, and she posts, you know, pictures of her like doing matches and winning and whatever else. And she's got about 250,000 followers. This guy Ryan shows you his method for reaching out to people like her. And basically, if you were launching a tennis racket on Amazon, you could reach out to her and for literally $35 reach her entire audience and get them to click your link there. And not all of them, obviously. There's a ratio of how many people see it to how many people click it, right? But you get an amazing amount of traffic for literally like 35 to 50 bucks. You can get her to promote it to all 250,000 people on one day. And then that can literally just be enough in itself to absolutely launch your product and kickstart your success on Amazon. So to sum up what you're going to get, because I know you're getting a lot, you're going to get the Azon Academy Foundations, which is our core training. That's a $2,000 value. The Azon Academy Protocols, which is another core training, and that's a $3,000 value. Literally sold separately. That's what these go for. The Product Opportunity Score Sheet, which I don't sell separately, but because someone on my team told me it was so valuable, I had to include it with anyone that goes through this program. I don't sell it separately, but if I did, I wouldn't charge less than $1,500. Then you're going to be getting access to the Amazon Warriors group. I'm not going to put a price to that because it's absolutely priceless. That Amazon Warriors group is absolutely the best place. I can't imagine how quickly I would have been able to get started if I didn't have to spend 6 months without advice from amazing people who are already doing multiple seven figures on Amazon. If I could just reach out to them and get advice, I probably wouldn't have spent like almost 7 months failing before I had succeeded, right? So that one is absolutely amazing. You're going to be getting access to that, access to all those other people. Not only that, you get our 3 bonuses, which is 4 months free of Super X URL, 4 months free of Kibly Extreme, and our traffic acceleration training, which in itself is absolutely amazing. So those are available for this presentation only, right? So this is a total value if you're to purchase these separately for literally $9,396. Remember, my development costs were in excess of $500,000. That's $500,000 I paid to develop a lot of this that you guys are seeing here, from the Kibly to the Super X URL to even the training. And not only that, but this is actually a proven training with people who've gone through it and done really amazing results. Besides myself and my business, other people have actually taken this and done well, right? Remember Scott, he'd done $110,000 per month Amazon business, which he's still running today, and he was able to create success. All these guys, by the way, we've had students who, done really well. I don't know how they're doing today. I'm only showing you guys that I know that have started and still do well today. This is Kelly. She has over $7,000 per month Amazon business. And Derek, he within 70 days created a $60,000 per month business. And Peter, within 60 days, created a $75,000 per month business. and they're all still running that today. Absolutely amazing. So how much will Azon Academy set me back, right? Well, I had two choices. The first one is I could go as cheap as possible with this, and I could try and get as many members as possible, but it wouldn't really incentivize me to pack in as much value, and I'm not really trying to make a bunch of money on this. My main goal is to empower people. And so my second option was require a little bit higher investment, but in exchange, I can devote enough resources and time to guarantee your success. And I can't say guarantee because it's really you that has to put in the work, but it allows me to put in enough time and put in enough resources to make sure that you have absolutely every opportunity to make this successful and make this something that you have the power to really do well with. And remember, this is from one top-selling product when I got started, over $1 million in sales in 7 months. You can see why this would be an immense value at even the full price of $9,396, right? If you were able to take a product, literally using this system, if you were able to take a product and within a month, like I did, go from $0 in sales per day to thousands of dollars in sales per day, pretty great trade-off, right? $9,000 for over $1,000 a day. I would do that because by day 10, I'd be making money. And after day 10, I would just be making a lot of money. But you're not going to have to pay that. In fact, there's a lot of people who try to teach, this system, this idea of creating a private label business model, and they don't really want to give it away, so they charge $5,000 for it. You're not going to have to pay that either. In fact, you're not even going to have to pay the $2,497, which is going to be that price that we release this to the general public at. In fact, I was going to charge $14.97 for this, but as a thank you and because Mike asked me to bring my best for you guys and to get as good of a price as I possibly could for you guys, we're going to be giving this away for $9.97. So if you go to Kibly.com/Mike, you can get access to this right now. So go to Kibly.com/Mike, join the rest of us in Azon Academy, and we'll see you inside. So not only that, I wanted to mention that this comes with a 7-day money-back guarantee. All right, so the reason it comes with a 7-day money-back guarantee is because I'm committed to your success, and I want to do what it's going to take for you to succeed. But if you don't feel like you can make money with this program, you let us know, and we give you your money back, no questions asked. The reason why we have this is because there's a lot of really amazing things that we covered, a lot of really amazing things that you're getting with just that price of $9.97 by going to Kibly.com/Mike. I wanted to include this guarantee because initially I wasn't going to include it. My thought was if I put a guarantee, then we're just going to get a bunch of people who are, just testing the water, sticking their toe in. That's not who really wins in life. Really who wins in life is someone who dives in and takes action, right? And so I was like, I want action takers in this training program. I really want people who are going to change their life. And so I don't want to offer a guarantee because that's just a bunch of, that just really encourages a bunch of people getting in that don't really want to take action. But after someone convinced me, they told me, well, what if someone doesn't actually know that you're giving the value that you're actually giving? And I thought about it, and I was like, wow, you're actually right. And so that's why we have this 7-day money-back guarantee, because I believe it's short enough to only entice action takers, and I believe it's long enough to give you a true understanding of whether or not we are giving you amazing value. And I know that as soon as you get in, you go to Kibly.com/Mike, you sign up, you join, and you're inside of the actual training, you're going to be blown away at what's actually included. You're going to be blown away at what it is that it takes to build this business. It's quite a few steps, but those steps are pretty simple, and you take those steps and you end up with an amazing business. But you're going to log in and you're going to see what exactly is ahead of you. It's not very long, it's very short, but what you're going to be able to do is create this business just as those other students did, as Scott and everyone else did. You're going to be able to create this business, and I know that when you log in, you're going to be able to see that. And the reason we have the 7-day guarantee is because if I'm just lying right now and you log in and you don't see that, you message us back and you say, this isn't for me. In fact, we do have people occasionally message us back, and that happens, and we give them their money back because some people say, you know what, I was really excited when I heard this, but I'm just not in a place where I want to, I'm not sure what the reason is, but I think they just, were busy or didn't want to create financial freedom for themselves. But my goal is, if you want to create financial freedom, I want to help you out. And if you want me to help you out, I need you to go to Kibly.com /Mike. And I know that you can do that without feeling that, you're jumping into something that you're not going to be able to see that working with you. The 7-day guarantee gives you the ability to see it working for you before you have to fully commit, right? So again, people have had massive success following this training. I can't play a video right now because if I do, you won't be able to hear it. But here's what working with me has done for Peter. He said, I was working 70 hours a week and I had no time for my family. He said, and then I found John, and he really helped me turn things around. He said, I'm here on the Grand Turk Island right now, and my business is totally automated, making money and growing. He said, I highly recommend what John is teaching. This is Vince, another student of mine. He said, John taught me everything from sourcing to launching, making the process simple. He said, it would have taken me at least 8 months to learn it myself, but now I have a profitable business after 60 days. Thanks, John. So you have two choices, right? Option one is you do nothing and you do not take this leap of faith, which, by the way, like I mentioned, is 100% risk-free. So option two is you pony up the small investment today compared with all the value you'll get in return, and you just give it a shot, right? And I just want to reiterate the point. If I can't make you money, I do not deserve yours, period. So if you don't have a product on Amazon yet, or you're new to selling on Amazon, we have our core trainings, our core foundations. You're going to go through those, and you're going to see exactly what that is, right? Problem solved. If you have questions, need help along the way, you're going to be in the Amazon Warriors group. You're going to have other people that are in the same spot as you, or you're going to have other people who are a little farther down the road, or even like 7-figure Amazon sellers that are like a ways farther down the road helping you out. So we got a solution for that. If you're uncertain whether or not your product has a potential to be successful, we have a solution for that. That's the product opportunity score sheet. Gives you about a 95% certainty on whether or not it's going to be successful. And the real question is it worth gambling a few minutes of your time to check this out? Which, even if it does half of what I've claimed on this training, it will pay for itself within as little as a week, right? So to recap, you're going to be getting the Azon Academy foundations, the core training there. You're going to get the Azon Academy protocols, the product opportunity score sheet, and then you're going to be getting access to my favorite Amazon Warriors group. You're going to be getting our bonus of 4 months free of Super XBRL, 4 months free of Kibly Extreme, and you're going to be getting free access to my traffic acceleration trainings. So the first one, my secret ranking weapon, is how you rank initially. This is our proprietary human element replication algorithm. Super complicated to talk about, very simple to use. And this we've had students use to get literally ranking on the main keyword within 24 to 48 hours. 4 months free of Kibly Extreme, which basically follows up with you on all of your customers and generates automatic 5-star reviews. And then not only that, but you're going to be getting access to my Azon Ad Hacks, which I teach you how to use Amazon's own ad platform without even paying for it with your product sales as they sell, to grow sales, to grow visibility, and to rank on the first pages. Not only that, but I'm going to show you how you can use Instagram to get, for as little as $35 to $50, get literally hundreds of thousands of people to see your product, and thousands of people to hopefully click through to your product and buy it. And that alone is enough to kickstart your success on Amazon, right? So you can get all of this and secure your discount by going to kibly.com/Mike. Okay, so go there now. If you guys have any questions, I'll post them here. And cool. So Mike, are you on the call still?
Yeah, I'm right here. I had myself muted so you didn't get any distractions. Absolutely. So are we doing Q&A, John?
Yeah, we are doing Q&A. However, I'm going to have to move over the slide to see some of the questions, unless you want to check the chat and ask me what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, there was somebody said here, how much are the tools after 7 days?
The tools are free.
I think they got confused because it's a 7-day guarantee, and they get 4 months, I think, right, of access to Kibly or something like that. So I think there was a little bit of a confusion.
Exactly. So what it looks like is you pay $9.97 today, and in 4 months from now, the reason why I've set it at 4 months is because, you guys saw all of those people who, were launching products on Amazon and creating their businesses that had gone through this training, and they had launched their businesses usually within 30 to 60 days. And, Scott's case, he got busy and ended up taking him 120 days, right? We don't usually have people launching it past 3 months. So what I wanted to do was give you guys at least 3 months of these tools for free so that you don't have a business that's not making money and paying for any tools. And then I was like, well, let's just give it an extra month buffer, right? Because that's the maximum amount of time really anyone's going to take. So you get 4 months free of these tools so that you're building your business. You don't have any extra costs as this is going on. And then after that, the goal is you've built your business, you're starting to have your sales, and these tools are actually tools that, we've literally got thousands of sellers on that, haven't been inside this training or haven't seen this training, because like I said, we haven't released this to the general public yet. We have thousands of people on our tools, on the Super XRL, on the Kibly, and those guys use it, and for them it's about $97 a month on average. If you're using those two tools together, cost $97. But like I said, this is a thing that I'm interested in doing for people to empower them, and I'm not trying to force people into paying me a bunch of money. So if you don't want to pay it after 4 months, or if you're not doing your business after 4 months, then you're not going to be paying for it. In fact, we've had people who signed up, who got started, and they didn't end up using the tools. And so then 8 months later, so they had 4 months free, 8 months later, they messaged us and they said, hey, we've been paying for this for 4 months and I didn't mean to. We've refunded them all of that just because, like I said, my business is empowering people, not trying to force people into payments.
Fantastic. And so here's the other thing, John, that I'm just going to say, because I like to get serious about business, is, shopping carts, are going to cost you, when you're an infopreneur, $299 or $399 a month. And, you're going to pay for your ClickFunnels at $99 a month if you're an infopreneur or doing any type of lead generation. If you're going to be doing Facebook advertising, you're going to have an ad spend looking for a return on investment. You just don't go out and spend $300 or even $30 a day on Facebook unless, you'll do that for a week. But if it's not making money, you don't just say, well, hopefully one day it's going to work. You do it because it's going to give you a return on investment. So businesses need tools, just like a mom and pop store needs their supplies, to make their pizza dough or their cookies or their ice cream or whatever. They got to pay their lights. There are certain things that a business needs. And I don't think John's going to expect anybody to pay for anything, but that they're not using. But I do believe that with everything you showed, with the success stories that you have, it's going to take some work. Nobody is ever going to tell you that you don't have to work to make money. And if you think that those things exist, they just don't. I work easily 8 hours a day, and then some days I don't work, and sometimes I take 3-4 days off or take an extended vacation. But I love what I do, so I'm easily working 8 to 10 hours a day. And if you've got to do it part-time, like I did for the first 3 years, you do it part-time. But when you love what you do, they always say you never work a day in your life. So if you want to work hard at John's system, get involved. Go through his what was it, the 127-hour you said, John?
Formula. Yeah.
Formula, right? And that's not the one where you cut your arm off after 127 hours, right?
Didn't get my arm off. It wasn't that.
No, completely different one. But the point is that John's not looking to put you into a continuity program here. He's giving you 4 months to try it out so that it can support the business with the information that you're doing. And then like anything else, like having a MailChimp account or a Webinar Jam account or an EverWebinar account or a ClickFunnels account, you want to be paying those things. You want to be on vacation on the marketer's cruise, and God forbid you're using your credit card.
Absolutely.
And your bank tells you that, hey, we've suspended your card because it seems that somebody's out in Mexico. We want you to be calling John and saying, hey, don't cancel my account. I'm using it to make money, but my bank just canceled my credit card. That's the type of service that everybody strives for, so that your customers are begging to pay, and if their credit cards get stolen, they're begging you to keep it on. So I could imagine you're not going to want to pay for it if you don't go through the course. But after seeing what I've seen here, I'm a believer. So John, there was a couple of questions I'll throw at you as well. Okay. When it comes to Amazon, I'll make this a two-part question. What are your suggestions with finding sourcing companies that will, that create the products for you, maybe white label, and like you were showing before, hey, I want a coffee. Here's a company. I tell them my brand, and they'll slap the label on it. And then on top of that, not just sourcing the product, so that maybe they don't ship it into your garage, and then you've got to ship it and put these labels on. What are your feelings on, especially in the beginning, in having companies fulfill your products too and automate that entire process? Because I could imagine, if you're doing $75,000 a month or $100,000 a month, you're probably going to look into saying, hey, we can really save some money with our margins if we fulfill it ourselves. But that's a great problem to have in the future. What do you think about when somebody's first starting out?
Well, so first off, I'm going to turn this, you turned it into a two-part question. I'm going to turn it into a three-part question. So first off, a lot of people like to know, okay, so I get in the course. I go to kidly.com/Mike. I, pay the $9.97 and I get started. What's next? Well, what's next is you're going to find your product and you're going to purchase the product. A lot of people like to know how much the product's going to cost them, because that's really your only cost after this. And like I said, you have 4 months free of using these tools that help you sell, so you don't have to worry about that. Your product, you're going to want to order 200 to 300 units to get started, and the average price of any product is in between 50 to 75 cents, or all the way up to like $5, right? So you've got about let's just be conservative and say $1 to $5, right? Well, if you're purchasing 200 to 300 units worth of a $1 product, that's about $200 to $300. A $5 product, which is on the higher end, that's around $1,500 to $1,000 to $1,500. So that's basically what you're looking at cost-wise to get started. A lot of the people that end up signing up here have already done Amazon before, and they see the stuff that I'm teaching here, and they're just like, okay, cool, boom, I'm signing in. Right? And a lot of them have used this to create. We've actually had someone buy the course, and then literally 4 days later tell us that he was so thankful that he had gotten 5 times ROI within 4 days. It was absolutely nuts. But for you, you're going to get in, you're going to find your product. My first product was, I bought 300 units, and it cost me about 75 cents each, and that was what I initially sold. It cost me like $300 by the time I paid for shipping, and that's what I initially got started. That's why I had $8 when I proposed to my wife, was because I had $308, and I spent my last like $300 before that on the products. Well, that's about what you're looking into. So what happens after that is I always recommend places to go and find these products, right? So you find your product inside the course, inside, you go to kidly.com/Mike, you get started. When you log into the course, it's going to first show you how you can, get started and find a product. And then immediately after that, it's going to show you how you can source your product. And we have very, very simple methods for sourcing. In fact, there's one cool thing I'll tell you that we do in our sourcing module, which I didn't tell you previously. But basically, we have a very simple way of doing it. I've been to China. I know a lot of people that go to China. And honestly, I make like a lot more money than a lot of the guys I know that go to China. And the reason is because I don't spend time going to China or with these crazy, ridiculous sourcing strategies. I just find a product, find a good manufacturer, and I start selling it. And then I repeat the process, right? So that's what I want you guys to do inside the course. I tell you the same thing. I basically tell you, I want you to go to Alibaba.com, you source your product there, and then inside the course, the really cool thing that I didn't tell you that I'm going to tell you now is over the last few years, China is kind of a different, and this is where most products are sourced from, is from China. China's kind of a different culture. And so when I first got started, I was like, okay, cool, I'm going to negotiate with these guys and get an awesome price. Well, it didn't work because their culture is totally different. And so inside the course, I've got a bunch of really simple negotiation strategies, like how to present yourself and how to, respond to certain things that can actually get you, they have minimum order quantities, which is like, oh, we only sell this in 500 batches or 500 unit batches, right? I can teach you guys how to easily negotiate those down to 200 or 300. And not only that, but the positioning that you guys start off with allows you to get the best pricing. So some of my students sell their product at the same price as their competitors. They sell just about as many units, but they make like 1.5 times the profit because they actually get the product for so much cheaper. So you're going to learn that. And then the last thing, and I guess I've turned this now into a 4-part question, but the 4th part of this answer is when you're shipping, Amazon charges about $241 So $2.41 to fulfill it when it's inside of Amazon to an Amazon customer. So believe it or not, it's actually just about the same price as it would cost me to fulfill it personally. And yes, I could technically fulfill it for, oh, my bad. I could technically fulfill it for, about $1.50, $1.70, but by the time you include all of your office and your, your storage and your employees and your systems and your time and everything else that goes into it, it's really just about the same price. And not only that, but when you're in Prime, when you're in Amazon, Amazon's fulfilling it themselves, that boosts your sales. We do at least 2 times more revenue, at least. And I think today's market with Amazon, it's really about 3 to 5 times at least more profit by being in Prime, because Amazon wants everything to be Prime. So they really promote listings that have Prime. So that's one of the things I really, really strongly say you guys should do is be shipping your product. A lot of the times people ship it from their manufacturer to the house, and they check it, and then it looks good, and they send it off to Amazon. A lot of the times people, send it straight from the manufacturer to Amazon, and then they start selling. That's how a lot of our international students do it. But basically, that's the easiest method. And then not only that, but all you have to do is focus on making sales, and then Amazon's literally going to take care of the rest. They're going to take care of your shipping. They're going to take care of customer issues. They're going to take care of returns, anything like that that actually wastes your time. It doesn't bring in dollars is what they focus on, and that basically leads you to focus on making more sales, making more money, right?
Yeah, why do it any other way? I mean, all 4 answers really great. So what I really like about what you're doing, John, is when you started out, the very first slide of the presentation showed what you were making, just back in 2015, and that you've been doing this several years. What I really like is that you've been continuing to do it and growing every year since you started, and that your primary business is still these Amazon stores that you have and these different products. You're still a believer more than anything in your product, and what I like is you're not like that real estate guy that went out and flipped 30 houses and then has been selling how to flip houses for 20 years, right? You're in the trenches. Your answers are so up to date that which means you're getting all the information, and the latest that's going on in Amazon. And I know there are people that are would charge 3 to 4 times as much as this, and don't have as much up-to-date information and aren't in the trenches like you are, and that's why I was so happy to have you on here. I think I confused one of the people here. Bruce asked, Mike mentioned doing Facebook ads and webinars, etc. Are those campaigns used with this, and are they taught? So I was giving examples about a business. If you're an infopreneur selling information products, kind of like John is right now for like $9.97 or $4.97 to use webinars, you wouldn't be using webinars for your Amazon stores. It's not necessary. You don't need to get somebody on for 90 minutes to get them to sell something, for $4.97. So it's not necessary. However, Bruce, you did ask, talking about Facebook ads. So, and John, I know you've got, your bonus number 3 is your traffic acceleration training. Do you touch on paid advertising in Facebook in your training?
Absolutely. Yeah. One of the strategies that we use to get initial ranking is you guys get 4 months free of SuperX URL. So what SuperX URL does is it creates a link, and then whenever people click on it, Amazon registers it as someone searching for your product and going way back to find it. And basically what that does is it tells Amazon, hey, we need to move this forward because people are having such a hard time finding it, and so many people are trying to find it. We need to move it to the front of the page, right? That's what this product tells them. And the SuperX URL only works if people click it. So the easiest way to get people to click it is just send some quick, cheap Facebook ads. And so inside this course, we do have 2 short videos, because that's honestly how easy it is. There's no, like, a lot of people have like courses on how to do Facebook ads. That's if you're building a business based off of Facebook ads. All you need to know is how to get cheap clicks from Facebook, and I teach you that in 2 simple videos inside the course, and how to send it to SuperX URL. And that's really all you need to actually start getting ranking. And then we've had guys go through. In fact, Scott Radcliffe. There's another Scott in the training. I forget his last name at the moment, but he was the one who told me that he went through that really quickly, and then within 24 hours he was ranking on page 1. And then he messaged me back the next day to tell me that he had gotten spot number 2 He was literally the second result on the main page for his main keyword within 48 hours just using that method.
John, I love that. So what's really great about that, and for the person that asked that question, is there Facebook training, is that you're not giving 19 different courses in one, right? You're not, because what you want to do is focus on the main thing that you're teaching these people about, how to, do market research and the intelligence and find out a product that's selling and reverse engineer what they're doing and get your store up quickly, be profitable, and automate all that stuff. And there is a portion of that has paid traffic. But what you've done by saying, I give you 2 simple videos, is you're eliminating them either having to go out and buy another Facebook advertising course for $1,000, and you're not leaving them hanging in the air with, no, I don't teach that. You're giving them exactly what they need that works for this particular method. So I think that's just fantastic. We have a couple of people have asked, are there payment plans, and do you take PayPal? And so here's the deal, guys. Everything that John has done that I've asked him to do and to squeeze the price down and offer all these things, and it is for a limited time, is only for the time that you're seeing here that's left in the next 30 minutes. And if you do have a question, I can't promise you anything, and I'm not going to speak for John, but if you have a question and you need to, make half a payment today, half a payment tomorrow, I can't answer that. But he does have the support email. It says support@Kibly.com. If you need to pay with PayPal, or pay half today, or break it up into 3 credit cards, or whatever that is, simply email their team there, support@Kibly.com. We'll do the best to make sure you still qualify for the bonuses. But the best thing to do right now is, what's that?
Can I add something to that as well?
Please.
Cool. So what I wanted to add to that is, you guys saw how when we release this to the public, basically we're going to be charging $2,497 for it. In that case, we probably will have like a single split pay, so where you pay 2 payments or something. With this $997 price, the 2 split pay of when we actually release it is actually larger than $997. So unfortunately, no, for the $997 we don't have a payment plan. Like Mike said, though, if you do have any questions about it, or if you're trying to figure out how to pay it with like a few different credit cards or PayPal or whatever, message us at support@Kibly.com. But what I would really like to encourage you to do is you actually have a payment plan, and it's probably in your back pocket. And what I mean by that is you can use your credit card. So you go to Kibly.com/Mike, and you can literally get in this. And my thing is I want to teach everyone how I've become financially free, and I want you to emulate that. I want you to actually have your own financial freedom, right? So getting you more in debt does not get you more financially free. The reason why I'm asking you to go to Kibly.com/Mike, and if you're really interested in this, you can see that this is something that you can make work. Like, you need to do that, because the way that entrepreneurs, the way that Mike and I look at things is we look at, okay, if I spend this, what am I going to get back, right? And the answer is if you spend this and you do the work and you follow the process, you're going to have results like a lot of the other students, and you probably end up in one of my pictures on another presentation one day because you were able to do this and make it successful, right? And not only that, but if you are able to go in and it turns out I am full of crap, all you have to do is log in, and then you'll see that, and then you say, hey, I need to get my money back, which in that case, you don't ever end up in a situation. So either the 2 choices are you go to Kibly.com/Mike, you enter in your credit card details, and you get started, and then you eventually turn this into a great business, or you decide not to do that and it goes back to your credit card. Either way, you end up better on the other side of it. And so that's how I want you to think of it. That's how entrepreneurs think of it. That's how investors think of it. And that's how really people who end up, creating financial freedom for themselves and success for themselves think of it.
Yeah, I like that. And what's really great about this, and in terms of this type of store, is you're focusing on commerce. It's taking out a lot of the other things about the info world of creating a product, managing and creating sales page, video sales letters, webinars, all these things. This is simply about finding a need for the market in a place that is the world's largest e-commerce search engine, and putting it in there and following the other steps in your system to make sure the reviews are good and all those different things. And there's no reason. It's obvious why this is the largest growing segment in our industry for what people are doing. They just it takes away a lot of the pain of getting into quote unquote passion projects and things like that. John, there's another question there that says how much how much time does it take per day? So I guess maybe if somebody's working full-time right now, they want to know, in order to get this started, what should they expect to put in, maybe if they, maybe working an hour or two a day?
So I'll answer that just by telling you exactly what happened to me. When I first got started, I didn't know anything about selling on Amazon. I had to work my regular job. So I ended up, working, 8 to 10 hours a day because, I was trying to save up and make money to purchase products. So I ended up working 8 to 10 hours a day and then come home and launch products. I worked like 4 hours a day launching the business. Well, eventually I finally succeeded, did well, and I've never had to work more than 4 hours a day at most. But that's only during the launch phase. Like after you launch, your product really is selling well, and you have your like what's it called? You basically have where you are in your niche. Like so you're either like third place, fourth place, second place, first place, wherever you are, you really stay there unless something changes. Like sometimes your title will change, your pictures will change, your bullet will change. Whenever those change and something happens, or if you get like a bunch of bad reviews, yes, you're going to have to go back to work and you're going to have to relaunch it. But really, as long as everything's fine with it and your ads are running well and you have, everything set up, really setting it up is where you're spending maybe 4 hours a day. If you're set up and you're just doing your sales, after that point, you really don't end up spending a lot of time. Like I said, I have 8 different businesses, and the most amount of time I spent on it when I was managing it was an hour and a half a day. And that's not like a lie or anything. That's like totally real. And the reason that that's that way is because, like I said, Amazon takes care of everything. So all I had to do was worry about making it sell. And as soon as I made it sell and it had a spot in Amazon, it was just churning out every single day. Amazon ran the traffic. Amazon ran the position that it was in. Amazon did the fulfillment. Amazon ran the returns. And I had a couple people in India, which actually inside this training, I show you guys how to create your own support after you already get your product up and running. So I had a couple Indian dudes working for me. They still work for me today, actually, and they ran all the support. So without the support, without all the other problems, maximum hour and a half a day. Like I said, unless you're launching it, then I put in as much time as I can to make sure it really goes well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That answers that question, right? How much time is needed? So you're telling them that with Amazon doing all these things, you couldn't even put that much work in, especially when you didn't have the time. And now, if you do, you can go out and you can maybe do some intelligence and some more more markets and find different products. So, John, what I'm seeing is mostly some products, and I hate to say this to people, right? But a lot of the questions I'm seeing are things like what kind of margins, should we expect? And I really hate to say something like, hey, that's going to be covered in the training in depth. There's only so much John can teach you. We've been here, certainly for 2 hours. So what I was trying to look for are some questions that are either.
I do want to answer that.
Yes, awesome. Yeah, jump right in. And what I'm looking for, John, is I'm looking for, some questions that are, basically people are wondering about getting in and wondering about, their time or their money and finding products and things to sell. So go ahead on. Mark.
I feel totally embarrassed because I must have deleted the slide in the beginning, but actually how much profit I make on these things was one of the first things I wanted to cover. And one of the things I like about this model is that it's so profitable. Either people are really excited or they just don't believe me when I tell them how much profit we make doing this. But basically, all those screenshots that you guys saw, of my business and selling, most of those were about 50 to 53% profit margin. Some of them were around 35 to 40% or 35 to 45%. And so basically, if you wanted to be super conservative, every one of those screenshots I showed you guys on all my businesses, the minimum amount that I take home net profit from everything, including ads and shipping and product and everything, is minimum 33%. So basically, when you're running this and you have your $1,000 per day business, you're really making about $400 to $500 depending on the product. But sometimes people are making between $600 and $700 on that $1,000 product. In fact, we're launching a product right now on one of my businesses I'm super excited about because we bought it. and I'm not sure if my sourcing managers listen to this right now, but I can't remember how much we bought it for. If you remember, tell me. But I think we ended up buying it for either just under $2 or like $2.15. But anyways, we're selling it for like $29. we're making like a lot of profit on it. It's really, really cool. And you know, there's products like that all over the Amazon space. And so really, you know, the way that I teach you guys, and on this product opportunity score sheet, one of the items you're going to see is a minimum 45% profit margin. The reason that any of my businesses are at 33% is because when I launched them, they started out at maybe 50, 55% or 45%, and then they've slowly gone down over time to maybe 35, 40%. So most of my business, though, you know, is around 40 to 50%, and everyone else, you know, all my students that go through this same exact thing. It's just the way that this model works.
Whoops, I was talking right back to you, but I was on mute. Sorry about that. Thanks for answering that question. So guys, I'm going to give a bonus to this offer, and anybody that bought is going to get it, and anybody that buys, you know, within the next 15 minutes after we get done with this last question, will also get this bonus. But before I tell you about my bonus, we've got the last question here. John, there seems to be a couple of people saying, I live here, or do you have to live in America to make this work, or what if I live somewhere else around the world? So what would you say to somebody that, you know, doesn't live in the United States and might have a concern about how anything might apply to them?
I would say that we have students inside of A-Zone Academy from over 45 different countries, and we have success stories from over 7.
Oh, again, you're answering all these questions perfectly. So, John, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give a bonus that that's going to apply towards e-commerce, and it's only for the people that, you know, that have purchased on this webinar. Or that are hearing my voice right now. So, John, I'm actually partnering with somebody in the e-commerce world. That's how much I believe in this. I'm taking 50% partner in you know, kind of like an e-commerce store platform, and that person has a course called A Guide to Successful Facebook Marketing for E-commerce. It's beginner and advanced training for Facebook ads. Again, it's a short course. It's about 90 minutes of training, but it's additional training for people that are interested in doing Amazon e-commerce. So everything there will apply, and I'm going to get that bonus to everyone. That's a $497 value. That's what that sells for. So I'm going to get that to everyone that purchases on here. So they'll so if anybody is looking to really dial it in even more, that'll be something that you can just say, hey, that's in my library. When I'm ready to get to it, I'll get to it. So that's another $500 value I'm going to throw in on top of that for you guys. So we're wrapping up, and I'm certainly going to give John a chance to wrap up and say the final words. But what I want to let you know, guys, is my voice is literally a virtual countdown timer going on right now. We are about to end this. I want to thank you guys for being on for so long. Now over 2 hours and 5 minutes, and I can't thank you enough. John, your training was great. But the thing is when we get off, John's going to have that page pulled down, you know, within the next, you know, as he says here, next 30 minutes. So you want to get started. My thing to tell you guys as my customers, if you want to know if I think you should do this, of course. That's why I had John on here. I hand select people, and John, you know, when I'm at the Marketers Cruise, I've got everybody and their grandmother wanting me to come up and promote their course, yeah. And there are so many things that get involved for me to get in there. But the most important thing is that it has to be not only of great value, but it has to work. And not only does it have to work, I want to see proof. I want to see those success stories. I need to vet the products, and that's why I've been talking to John now for since January about this, looking into the program. I said, I want to see the slides. I want to see your customers. I want to know all these things. And when we're vetted and everything is good, if you say to me, Mike, do you recommend I should do this? I wouldn't have John here in front of you. If you have the $997 and as John said at the beginning, if you're one of those people and you're like, why hasn't this worked for me, or why hasn't some of these things worked for me? I've never seen a simpler and more concise system. It's not a brand huge thing on marketing that says you've got to learn how to build a funnel. You've got to learn copy. You've got to learn how to do a VSL, write a webinar, get people on, do follow-up system, tagging. No, it's not that complicated. He showed you. He laid it out for you, the basic steps of the system. He showed you exactly what to do in this type of business, and his training is the exactly how to do it. So now you know what can be done. He's going to teach you exactly how to do it. He's got a 7-day money-back guarantee. I kind of respect that. It says, hey, get in, get your hands dirty, get your feet dirty, jump in the water, see if it's right for you, and decide quickly, because he believes that his products are and training, and so do I, are so good for you that once you get started, you're going to want to stick with it. And if not, he wants to get you your money back right away. He wants the people in the community all posting in that Facebook mastermind group, growing together and sharing information. So you got my blessing. Jump on in, get access to all of his bonuses, his discount, the advanced and beginner Facebook training for successful Facebook marketing for e-commerce that I'm throwing in, a $497 value. That's everything I've got. We are running out of time here. We're going to be closing up. By the time our voices are gone, you want to be sure that you get on that order page within the next 5 minutes. So John, I want to thank you, but I'm going to turn it over to you to say the final goodbye to all of the members here. And while John's doing that, everybody, if you can please blow up the chat and say thank you, and tell him that you appreciate the training that he gave you today.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it. And, like I said, my goal is really just to, impact as many people as possible. And so thank you guys for being here. And thank you for those who already got started. If you did get started, put your name in the chat. Hopefully you put it in the chat in the next few seconds so that Mike can read it out. Hopefully you're still on this webinar if you did get in. But anyways, yeah, congratulations to those who've already gotten in and who already are, excited about getting started and building this thing. I'm going to keep it really short. If you guys, you can see the value in this at this point. You've seen all the other people use this and really create something amazing. I mean, even if it's as small as $7,000 a month, that's very impactful. I read this study that said if the average person going through bankruptcy had an extra $500 a month, they would never have to do that. They wouldn't have to get rid of their cars, their home, and file bankruptcy and end up in a bad place. If all you were able to do was follow like Kelly's results, where she only created a $7,000 per month Amazon business, that's major impactful. That's if she brought home 50% of that, that's $3,500. That's 7 times more than the average person would need to go from bankruptcy to thriving, right? And so if that's you, if you're interested in making a change in your life, if you're interested in investing in yourself, if you're interested in creating financial freedom and time freedom for yourself, I want to encourage you, go to kibly.com/Mike right now because we're going to end this right now. And yeah, final thing, thank you guys. Really appreciate it. It's been great.
Fantastic. Thanks, everyone. I just see Ember right there says, I'm in. Great job. So we're going to leave it with this, guys. Sometimes you have to say to yourself, you look around, you see success is all around you. It's not a rare thing in this world. As I live here in San Diego and I drive downtown, we see successful shops. Everywhere you look is a successful small business, buildings. Everything we see around us was built by people no different than us, and in many cases younger than us. And they say opportunity comes around once in a lifetime. I disagree with that more than anything in the world. Opportunities are all around us. We have to seize it. Sometimes we have to look around. If we're seeing success all around us, simply ask this question, why not me? And if we're asking that question too many times, then that means we're not taking advantages of the opportunities that are in front of us. And John did a great job. Thank you very much again, John. Go to kibly.com/Mike. Ask yourself that question, why not me? Look at everything that he's got and become one of those students. I'd love to see your face on one of his slides in 90 days to 120 days as somebody that was on this webinar and has a success story like that. John, thank you very much. I'm going to let you click the buttons to get out of here.
One last thing is I saw a couple other people that had said they were in, and I just want to say congratulations to Amber Berendit, George Schrockman, let's see, we have Brian Manning, see who else we got here. Bruce Parker and Carlos Laura. Those are the other people who said there. And so congratulations to you guys as well. And like Mike said, if you're not in, go to kibly.com/Mike and get started.
Bye-bye, everyone.